wanna be just like
We've been to a concert together.
I don't wanna be your man.
You can do that.
Girl,
Oh,
I'm
you
just
too
being
got your French tips.
Look what you got.
Somebody put a ring on it. Oh, somebody put a ring on it. Hey, your hand's soft. Do that again. Your hand, no, good. Touch me again. Ooh, you just. Ooh, can we switch this up? Can we talk about sex? Can we talk about sex?
All sisters.
Is it on?
Booty bigger than a Prius.
This episode is about sex. We just changed it up. It's about sex in college. Damn it. Touch my hand again. Oh, you hot. You hot, huh? I do. Oh, you nervous?
Yeah.
I tend to do that. It's okay. It's gonna work. Trust me. Trust me. I'll make it happen. Okay. So, anyways, your legs shaved. You ready, huh? You knew you was gonna be on somebody's camera today. Nothing playing.
You remember that, huh?
Yeah, I bet.
When I was a freshman?
Exactly.
When you were a freshman? And yeah, I didn't used to shave my legs.
Exactly. Yeah, I thought she was a porcupine. But it's okay. Y'all, welcome back. Yo, we've been live for 2 minutes and y'all just been jibbing and jiving. Okay, I want to introduce, she's been here before. Y'all might recognize the face. When she came, she gave y'all that heat. Everybody been talking about that since. They've been like, she was for reals.
Yes.
You for reals. I like for reals. High five. But you also somebody that likes to keep it real.
Yeah.
So I would not. I walked to her at the bar. I'm like, I need you on my show tonight. And she was like, when? I don't know. I didn't know tonight. Like, I'm not taking no for an answer or whatever. So I appreciate you for coming with short notice. And I already know you about to give them the business. You guys can introduce yourself because I need to sip my tea.
Okay.
Tea.
So my name is Cindy Alvarez. I graduated from Fresno State. I'm a former student there. I was a triple major in criminology, philosophy, Latin American studies. So I have 3 bachelors.
And twerking.
4 certificates in cross-cultural competency, legal studies, victim services, and drugs and alcohol.
Everything.
Wow.
She did everything.
Yeah.
And we was just friends because we was.
How long did that take you?
5 years.
When we worked, no, we
Did
worked.
you sleep?
No,
No.
we worked together and we was the ratchet ones. Wasn't we the ratchet ones? Like
agree.
everybody was all like
Everybody's all
whatever,
proper.
and we was
We're the
cussing
only
and
ghetto
doing
kids.
this or whatever.
Nice.
Yeah, you know, I'll get ratchet. It's whatever.
Yeah.
I'm a good ratchet though. I bring out the freak in you on this side, not on that side, not to the left.
Yeah, the good one.
Yeah.
So, anyways, tonight's topic is about college. So the first question I want to ask is, do you guys come from a family of college graduates?
Yes and no. My parents were both college graduates, and I'm the youngest of 5, and I'm the only one that graduated college. So it's kind of the reverse. I had 2 highly educated parents whose children didn't really follow through, except for me.
Oh, that sounds like her parents.
His parents.
No, they're her parents. What about you?
I'm first generation here in America. My sister was about to graduate college, but she ended up passing away the same month that she was supposed to graduate. She ended up passing away. And then my other sister also graduated, and then I'm the 3rd.
Nice.
I remember that because that was your motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because when you told me that, I was just like, I was
Wow.
shook, and you was just like, she
Wow.
was going, you know what I mean, doing everything
Yeah.
right, and it was just like,
Yeah.
that's crazy. So it's like sometimes we take things take advantage of things, and it's just like, you were like, she did everything right, she did this, blah, 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 and then I was scared.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well, shit, I hope I don't, you know what I mean? No, that's really what I was,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I was like, I hope I ain't walking and I just die. That's what I was thinking or whatever. So, so basically, when did you decide you want to go to college? Like, what clicked?
The day I graduated high school, I remember turning to my sister, because she was the one raising me at the time, and I said, this is the last time
Why was your sister raising you?
My family. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tune in next week.
Yeah.
We're gonna have her right on there.
But I turned to my sister, I said, this is the last day I will ever set foot in an institution of learning for the rest of my life, because I hated school that bad. Famous last words. I go out and I work for about 1.5 years, and I decide, no, I don't want minimum wage. Minimum wage sucks. So I started taking classes at college. I didn't even know what I was going to major in. I just knew I was going to figure something out to not make minimum wage.
Yeah, because it wasn't about
Right. And irony, miss, I'm never going to set foot in a school again for the rest of my life. I became a school teacher.
So what was the first job that you had that made you decide, I can't do this?
Working for my father.
What was y'all doing?
I worked in a little delicatessen.
What? Can you speak English?
A deli. You know, sandwiches and salads.
Yeah, I've got deli, but when you said
was like,
contestant,
what's
and all
that?
that,
Poor Carlese.
I've been drinking. I
Carlese.
can't. The contestant lost me. The deli should have stopped that deli. I would have thought meat, choppers, all of that.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I did a lot of
you
food
know I'm from
service.
the hood.
Just a lot of food service, and it was like, no, this sucks.
You can't
Yeah,
do that.
no.
How much? And back then, minimum wage is what, $2?
I'm not that old. Jeez,
shit.
Carlese.
I'm just saying. I don't know.
Nah, no,
Let
that
me know
minimum
what
wage, it
you're
was like $5.75.
Well, shit, that ain't
Yeah.
no better. I'm just- Your turn.
Initially, my mom didn't want me to go to college. She wanted me to get pregnant, get a job at a packing house, and start producing kids so I could, you know, keep living in the projects. But I was like,
Why? Why?
because that's all she knew. When she
Yeah.
when she immigrated here, she had us, and then we are a product of the government. So that's
No,
all
I
she
am
knew.
too. Don't let you
I know,
I
but
was.
your parents are American. You gotta understand. My
Nah,
mom
they
doesn't
act-
speak
Different.
English. My mom doesn't speak English.
They be speaking bullshit. So I don't know. No.
So my
I was a
mom
crack
doesn't-
baby and all this shit, so I
You
don't
know?
know what they was.
But when my mom came here, she was a single parent, you know, and that's all she knew. So she doesn't understand concepts of college. She doesn't, like, her culture is different.
Okay, so she came from Mexico. So she just knew what was the trend.
Yes, so
What,
she just
okay.
keep having a baby and we'll keep living here and our welfare was going to be up. And I was like, and then at the time, my former high school counselor, Anissa Morris, or Anissa Rosadia, she was like, well, tell your mom that if she doesn't let you go to college, that you're going to come live with me. And I was like, well, she said that if you don't let me go to college, I'm going to move out and I'm going to live with her and you're going to live out on the street. So she had no choice but to follow me. And then I happened to be blessed and I got a job that same month that I was going to go into college.
So what clicked when your mom, you had this plan, or your mom had this plan to have you? What clicked to make you think that you needed something different,
I
and not
don't
just to
believe
have
that.
kids and lay on your back and have somebody break you off with no pregnancy or no condom or no plan B? What's the other one? That was last week, but
I just want to be opposite of what I mean, my mom implemented good morals in me.
that was
but
my
I want to be
same-
the opposite of what I lived.
that was my same thing. I just knew I didn't know what to be, but I knew what not to be.
Yes.
Right.
And I knew, like,
Yeah.
I was paying attention, and I was like, this don't seem right. So I
Yes.
don't want to go this way. So everything that this man do or this situation does,
Right.
I'm going to do the opposite of.
Right.
So that's kind of how I knew. That's why some
Yeah.
people like, oh, your dad didn't teach you anything. And I'm like, my dad taught me the man to be by teaching me the man not to be.
He was your
Yes.
reverse role model.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Reverse. You
Why
going
you
to...
getting the limo service like that?
Bye, Felicia. I can't. So anyways, so what made you decide to go to college? You said that happened, and then what clicked to make you think like, maybe I should try college instead of trying a job? She said she knew she didn't want to do that. You said you got a job.
Yeah.
Before you was already enrolled in college. What made you?
Yeah.
You said your worker or your...
My former high school counselor, she was like, look, you don't have an option. College is your only option. And I was like, okay. So I just listened to her, and I'm very glad. I
Yeah.
think she was at the right place
Thank
at the
God.
right time.
Yeah, thank
And
God.
she encouraged me to go, and then a lot of it was part of me wanting to go too, because I knew I wanted to go. I knew I had to go. I just didn't know how to stand up to my mom. But then when I felt reinforced with her telling me, like, screw your mom, you'll come live with me. Well, I mean, she's not dissing her, but she's telling her, like,
Right.
she's leading you the wrong way. So she
Yeah.
was like, you'll come stay with me. And I was like, okay.
Wow.
So I told my mom that, and my mom was like, oh, well, I don't have a choice but to
So
let
how
you
many
go.
how many of you siblings is it for you guys?
Well, I have a brother. He lives out in the streets. He's homeless. He does drugs.
He's older than you?
Yes, he's approximately 39. And then my sister.
Approximately.
Because he's 38, 39. I don't know.
Oh.
And then my sister who passed away, she would have been 32. My other sister's 31, and I'm 25.
So you're the youngest?
Yes.
It's
Youngest
a
of all.
trend. You notice a
Like
trend?
me.
You notice a trend here?
Yeah.
I'm the youngest too of my.
Yeah,
you
all
know what
three
I
of
mean?
us.
And it's just
Yeah.
like we have older brothers and sisters for a reason.
And we watch them.
We watch
And we
'em.
go, oh no.
Like I used to
Right?
be walking with my brothers and they'd steal something, and then the police would be chasing. I'd be like, oh, that's
Right.
that don't. I don't want to get chased.
You,
by
you
I'm out
ever
of
have them
breath.
judge you as soon as they hear your last name?
Of course they just.
Yeah.
The police
That
will
happened in my
pull, if
school.
I go to Madeira, the police will pull me over and they ask for my ID.
Yeah.
They'll run my ID and they will bring it back and it will come back clean. They'll run it again like,
Right,
nah,
yeah,
this
yeah.
can't, you know what I mean? All the time. But like I said, like I knew, I'm thankful for my older brothers and sisters because I knew what not to do. And then they would always get sent home fighting or stealing or doing this and that. So, like, maybe if they wouldn't have been there, I probably would have tried a few things on my own. But I seen like, nope. Because if you put your hand on the hot stove and you get your ass burnt, I'm not finna put my hand on it. It's hot. Obviously, you got a scar and it's not a tan line. That's a burn. No, that's really a burn on your hand. You see that? No, but you know what I mean. So I'm not even gonna let it get there or whatever. So it's funny how it's a trend. Like we're the youngest, and I'm blessed to be able to say like we were all placed young. Because imagine if we were the oldest or the middle one. Like
they
how
have
would
the
we?
hardest time.
They do.
They're the ones that have to make all those mistakes that we watch.
Especially coming after parents who did that, and they're the first ones, the first example, first guinea pigs. It'd be like, okay, you go out here and try this.
Yeah.
So they're really out there in the ocean trying to learn how to swim. Like, and your parents just said, go ahead and swim. And they out there trying to backstroke and do shit. The shark riding around there and they trying to backstroke. You about to get your ass bit. But I'm in a boat looking at you saying, okay, if he swim that way and he get bit, I know when I get in that ocean out to do that. I need something to stab the shark. You know what I mean? But they don't know that because they just about to get bit.
Yeah.
We close, or do I need to talk about something else? Oh, we got 1 minute. What y'all want to talk about for 1 minute before we go to the next topic? You want to talk about how good this beer is? That y'all ain't getting? Okay. So college isn't for everybody.
Yes.
Do you agree or do you disagree?
I completely agree. As a school teacher, it's not for everybody.
That's good. But you know the thing is, teachers don't tell you that.
Right. I have a big issue with that.
They don't tell you. They just think something.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about that in a little bit. We'll be back with our third segment or whatever. We're gonna have
I
Cindy.
will preach on that one.
She going to preach on that one. She going to take us to church. We'll be back in a little bit to talk about college. It's not for everybody. So we'll be back in a little bit. I'll see y'all later.
Darling, you see, I'm far from a racist. I like I'm Latin, Caucasian, and black, Arab, and
No.
Asian. How you get rid of that baby
Yeah.
girl? Your
It's
booty
scary.
bodacious been doing your lunches and purchase and planks. All of the basics.
But why you tryna be just like me?
Can't do that?
It's kinda lame, I don't wanna be your man. Girl, I'm just being honest. But what you got in your
Dude, we done went to
hand?
the, what was it, the Key Sweat? What concert did we go to with the old people?
Where did we go? I
We
think
was
it
drunk as hell. You bought some
multiple people.
Patron, and then we drove, and then we parked and started drinking. I don't even know. I don't remember nothing. I just remember waking up.
You still remember that? Where
I
did
still
we go? I
We went to a
forgot.
Motown something. Oh shit, with they back.
Yeah.
Watch your mouth. And all that. I don't saying. Fuck. Welcome back, y'all. We back in the hood on keeping. No, I'm just. So before we left, y'all, we was talking about school isn't for everybody. So she was feeling kind of emotional about that when it was something serious. And the thing is, with me, when it comes to, I would think to myself like everybody needs to go to college, everybody needs to go to school. But through my trials through school, I realized like school is not for everybody.
No.
Everybody doesn't need it. Everybody's not built for this. Everybody can't take that, and I really understand it because school is built a certain way. And if you're not that human being, it's not for you.
Right.
How do you feel? You feel like school is for everybody?
No.
Absolutely
Absolutely
not.
You know,
Let me drink my tea.
you know, what
This is
the school
really tea,
system,
y'all. This
what the
is
school
tea.
system has tried to do is, you know, the pendulum used to swing all the way to one end with.
You said
know,
who'd you live?
A pendulum.
Oh, is
You know,
that thing that
pendulum.
swing?
Yeah.
I can't spell. I don't say nothing I can't
Just act
spell.
like you know. Just act
No,
like
I
you
actually do know, but you know when I started drinking.
But anyway,
It's the one that swing back and forth like
the
this.
way,
I
the
got
way
some
it
knowledge.
used to be in the school systems was, you know, only the best and brightest were encouraged to go to college, you know? Well, now they swung it all the way the other way where they're trying to force every single child to be prepared for college. It's actually written into public school philosophies that every child will be college ready upon graduation. In other words, and what a lot of us teachers call it is that cookie cutter approach. You're going to try to make every single child out there, no matter what their interests, their passions, you know, try to make them all fit into this mold where they are all going to graduate with their A to G requirements and go to a 4-year university. They don't all want to, and they're not all supposed to.
And you know the bad thing about that is if they set these certain standards and requirements, and if somebody doesn't fit into that, like you said, cookie cutter or that frame, that can kill somebody's vibe
Right.
and mold. Like it's like I didn't meet their requirements, so am I nobody?
Exactly. And you
Like
know,
everybody don't want to be a police officer. Some of us
Right.
want to sell drugs instead of busting people.
now we're not encouraging that,
Okay.
Carlese.
Okay. Well, I should have said something else. Like some of us don't want to fight fires.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And
See?
that's the thing, you know.
See how fast I got you back hooked?
You know, I work especially with the population of students that do not succeed in public schools. That's what my ministry does. I work with dropouts and I help them get alternative diplomas and find careers.
So like her brothers?
I don't know.
Well, she'll tell you about it later. They
Yeah.
can-
Yeah.
Her mama too. She got a lot of lists.
Yeah.
She got a lot
And
of
the
people.
thing is, these they're primarily, they tend to be young men that drop out more than the young ladies. And the young men, they are all brilliant. They are survivors. They are creative. They are problem solvers. They're usually very active, very physical. They like to do things. They're what we call kinesthetic. They're active. They don't want to sit behind a desk and read.
Kinesthetic
That's like shoot me now. But they have
But
other
don't.
ways.
I hope they ain't got guns. No, because you on the west side. So when you say shoot me now, they might shoot your ass.
Well, actually, I am in Tower, which I call the New West Side.
The New West Side?
Yeah.
Because since they brought me over here, they brought a little bit of it, too. I'm just
Carlese,
saying.
anyway. But no, there is absolutely nothing wrong with students going into vocational trades. We now have a nationwide shortage in America for reputable, high-paying vocational trades. People who can actually get into unions and do union work.
Okay.
Whether it's building solar panels and installing solar panels.
This is new, right?
Yeah, this is currently we've got shortages. I have been renovating my tower home for the last 10 years, and several times there's been electrical issues. Can't find an electrician. They're just not there. There's like a few electricians in the phone book, and they are all totally booked out for the next 3 years because we have a shortage of electricians.
I know a few electricians because I know a few people that used to, when they break into cars, they used to wire the cars together so they can do your house easily.
Anyway.
No, I'm for real.
But electricians
They
can
gonna get
make
paid.
like $40 an hour.
And they did. They stole a whole car now.
40,000 worth.
So,
But then they
seriously,
turn
there's
good
so
and
many,
then-
there are so many careers out there that people can be going into and
That we're not
training-
told.
Exactly, it is like hush hush in the
In
public
school, what do
schools
they say?
Because they want you to go to your CSU or USC.
They say you need to be a cop, a pharmacist, a sheriff. They don't say all the things. You can be a music producer. You can be. They don't say that in
Right,
school.
right,
Even when I first went to
right.
Fresno State, I went to be a pharmacist because everybody was like, you should be blah, blah, blah. And I was like, pharmacists just shut everybody
Legal
else.
drug trade.
I did not want to be a pharmacist. I wanted to be entertainment. I wanted to be on radio.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk this shit. I wanted to
Right.
talk that talk. But there was nothing. So it was
Yeah.
just like be a pharmacist. So for the first 2 years, I was going to school and I was to be a pharmacist in the classes, and everybody's like, yes, molecules. And I'm like, I don't give a damn. The new Jay-Z song just came out. I'm over here listening to this. Like, and the tutor's like, oh, and I'm like, Jay-Z just came out. He was like, what about these molecules? And I'm like, what about these molecules? Like, you know what I mean? So that's when I knew, came to terms
Right,
like,
and
but
different people have different passions, and we have to encourage people to follow their passions and make that their calling, their vocation.
How do you feel about the amounts of money that these vocational schools are charging?
Again, it depends on where you go. There's a lot of unions that'll take you with very basics. A lot of the vocational schools, I think, are a total ripoff.
Yes, because for an AA, you're looking at $40,000. And I was like, your ass can go to the city and get that shit for like $10,000.
Right, and that's
I was
the
like,
thing.
it may take your ass 2 years, but let me tell you, you're not going to be in debt for the rest of your life.
And I
what's
encourage,
funny?
what I do is I hook my students up with the community college
you got the hookup?
certification programs.
you got the hookup.
I don't have the hookup. I take them down and guide them on
Shit,
what
I
to
was
do.
going to say, we can meet after
Sorry,
this and I want the
Carly.
hookup. And you
But
said ass twice.
I
in
get
the
them
sentence,
connected
but-
to City College because those
Yeah.
vocational schools,
they're a
what
ripoff.
they are is they're a sales approach, and it's a shame that the public schools, the counselors, bring these people in to do their sales pitch to the seniors who are all impressionable, don't know squat about how to handle finances and money and what's best for them. They hear a great sales pitch, they sign up, they're all excited because now they're getting like a bag,
With
and a
a nice
cup
pencil.
and whatever, and they feel like they're all
You know
cool.
the
And they
Hills
don't
is getting
realize
sued
that
right now, right?
Good,
Yes,
they
know
should.
let me
Hills?
They
tell you,
ought
I
to.
once
They
went
ought
to a job interview with them, and they sit you in a room and they pretty much tell you what they're about. They're a business. They're out there to get your money,
Yes.
and they're fucking leeches. That's
Right.
They
all
told
I'm
you
saying.
that they were fucking
I mean, they
leeches.
don't use those
Well,
words
they
exactly.
often say, well, shit,
but-
they down, they with the shit.
No,
I'd have been
they're
like, well,
straight
shit,
up
it's y'all.
leeches,
If I
and they're
signed up
there to
already.
get
Yes.
your money.
Right.
And they have no shame in their game. They give it to you in nice little words, but essentially what they're trying to say is that they're ripping these kids off. And then they tell
Right.
you, they have the nerve to tell you, and I'm being honest, they have the nerve to tell you that if you don't agree with their sales philosophy or with their philosophy in education, to get up and leave. The people who are you want to potentially work for, they tell you, this is what we do, and if you cannot handle it, get up and leave now. I stayed not because I wanted to work for them, because once they told me that, first I was like, I don't want to do this, but because I wanted to know what else
The
it is
knowledge,
that they're
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, they are ripping you off.
Right.
Like,
And
it
it's
is
not just
worth
Heald,
it.
San Joaquin Valley
San
College,
Joaquin.
San
ICT,
Joaquin.
all of these private
Yeah,
colleges.
No,
right.
ICD. You know, if Lil Romeo doing the commercials, it's the
No.
problem.
They'll tell
Lil
you,
Romeo was my.
here's a bachelor's, give me
Master P
80,000.
son.
They're crazy.
If Master P son doing the commercial, don't go there.
Yeah.
Right.
Cause you ain't gonna,
You know
if
you're
you unless
being
you want gold
hustled.
teeth when you graduate.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I could teach you some street shit. You ain't even gotta go to UEI.
And not
Yeah.
only that, like, school debt is not debt that goes away. For example, like, there's certain debt that you can get into and you can file for bankruptcy. School loans are not that. That shit will follow you for the rest of your life.
I know it's been
It does
following
not
me.
go
It's still
away.
been following
Right,
me.
and
I
see-
tried to make a left and a right, and I look back, the shit was still behind me. They still sending me letters like, "Oh, we
Yeah.
know you moved," and I'm like, "How y'all know?"
No, and eventually they're gonna start taking your income tax checks away
Yeah.
if you don't start payments.
Right.
Yeah, they're gonna.
Well,
start
mine
taking
started
that away.
December, so I ain't been high, but I tried to make a left and a right, and they was like, "Oh, we know you moved," and I'm like, "Oh, that's great." Hi, bitch. Like, I don't want to pay that. I could be driving a Cadillac instead of
But
paying.
here's
y'all.
what I think is so criminal about those colleges, though, is like I said, they go to these little seniors who don't know anything, and they take
Yeah.
advantage of their ignorance.
Yes.
And they get them, and they get all of those loans. They come out with the money. I know a young lady. She was a senior, and she got sucked into one of these schools. She ended up paying $24,000 just to become a CNA.
Yeah.
What's her name?
I don't want to say. I'm not gonna.
Okay.
You don't know her.
But
You don't
was
know
it?
her.
No,
But-
I'm just saying
but-
the name could tell a lot about.
Right, and well,
the
she's a
decisions.
child of immigrants.
Okay.
She's the first one in her family to
Yeah.
ever sign up for college, and she completely got ripped off.
Because if her name was
Because now
Tata
she's got-
Licious, then it's
because
like.
now she's got
I
a
get it.
$24,000
Yeah.
student loan debt, and she still can't make more than $10 an hour. How's she going to
Oh,
pay
hell
that
no.
back? And
Yeah.
now she can't go and further herself because she already has so much student loan debt.
And
And
then-
then you have the ones that get talked into it, and it ends up being a program they can't even cut. So then they don't even complete it. Now they've got forfeited
this-
student loans. They can never go back to college.
Yes.
Now they can't even go back and do it the right way.
I agree.
I totally agree, and I understand that's like something that's like this needs to be brought to the forefront.
So we
Yeah.
need more
What-
practical
quick
jobs
question.
for our children.
do you
not
do you
doing
think
vocational.
college is for everybody?
No, I do not. I do not think college is for everybody. In fact, I believe that some of the smartest people that you will ever come across
Didn't even go to
never
college.
Right.
never went to
Right.
college.
Yeah.
We finna go to commercial real quick, but when we come back from commercial, I just want to talk a little bit about like you touched on that or whatever. A lot of
Yeah.
people, I'm gonna say what college taught me, and it wasn't even about book smarts. It was other stuff that I learned about myself. So we'll be back in a little bit, y'all. We're gonna be on our last segment already. We're gonna talk about what college taught us, and hopefully, since school's about to start, some of y'all can make y'all decisions whether to get a loan, keep a loan, buy a car, or run somewhere else and do some other shit. So.
She bad, but look at the way that she's switching the way she walk. I don't care if it's real.
Shootouts with the Lord, but he lived in a palace. Bought me
I'm not in.
Alexander McQueen.
Go get it.
Was keeping
1,
me
2,
stylish.
3.
That's real.
Hit.
Gun in my purse.
That's what happened when you ain't with. If I would have been another black person, they would have been doing this with me. I promise you.
I think I was watching
You was blocking your you blocking your future life. You would have been popping it on the handstand. You know you would have. I seen your twerk videos. But, anywho. Anyways, they had about a 10-minute conversation over a 3-minute break, but it was a 10-minute conversation
We can do that.
about some stuff. And I didn't know what they was talking about. I got a quick question for y'all. What did you like the best about college?
English classes. I love to read.
You like to read.
Yeah, I mean, I was an English major. I grew up reading and writing. It's like my favorite thing. It's like, wait, I get to do what I love and
You like
get
to
A's
read?
for
Let me
it.
drink.
I mean, it was just I did what I loved and got A's for it. So yeah,
You got A's.
yeah. See, I was one of those ones I never had to study. If I just showed up and listened in class, I aced it.
I loved the parties. I mean, I was
never
the
partied.
best. I was the best at the parties. I was always there. I mean, I always had alcohol. I always had a dance party. I mean, I did. You need that at parties. You can't have a college and not have parties. And when everybody who wanted to party, I was there for them. When you wanted to twerk, I was there to back it up. When you backed it up, I was there. No, I'm serious.
He
It's
had
a
your
balance,
back,
right?
I bet
Just
he,
like,
yeah.
just like you
Yeah,
got people in the top of the library reading, you got people at the bottom of the basement twerking, and I was there for them. Just like the tutor was there for them. Like, it's a balance in life, and I was there.
That's
Like,
a good way
you know
to
what I
put
mean?
it.
Like, cheers. Like, what's your favorite part about college?
My favorite part of college, it wasn't what I was taught, it wasn't school itself, but I think it was just the diversity that I was exposed to. People who were really smart, geniuses, and then just retards that hold on, I don't want to retract
It's
that.
too late.
No,
I don't
save
think
that.
I don't
Save
think
that.
the word, I retract my word. People who are just ignorant as hell. They're just dumb, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, you're just stupid. But anyways, so you're able to deal with people on all, from all walks of life and just every diversity, and I think that was a very good experience, and I wouldn't take that back for anything else, because I think you can only acquire it through college.
Exactly. What I liked the most about college was the fact that when I finally got there, I'm like, despite of all the shit I've been through, like, this is real. Like, I can actually make it. Like, I can actually make it. So that's when you really realize, like, I'm somebody.
Yes.
And then you're on campus and you got your colleagues and you're playing music and you walk into class and it's like, this is college. So you know when you're in college, you can bump into the right person or go into the right career and be the best person you can be.
So it was like a confirmation for you.
Exactly. And this is just kind of like.
But I think being a minority, especially if being a minority and being low income, coming
What
from
you mean?
poverty.
I'm white. I ain't white.
No, but I'm telling you, being a minority and being low income, I think it teaches you that you're worth just as much. Because all your life being poor and being a minority, I feel that you come up and you think that you're not worthy of. Or I remember being young and people being like, you act white. And I'm like, what the fuck does white have to be with being politically right or being smart or being like just having an intellectual conversation? This has nothing to be
It's
with
because
white.
you're not talking like a Levi. If you're not talking like a Levi, then
so when you go to college,
that was a good accent, huh? Don't hate, please. Yeah, I'm from Madeira, exactly.
I don't know. So I just feel that when you go to college, you're able to interact with everybody, and you realize that you're just the same as them. And
What did you dislike about college?
I don't know.
Spoiled kids whose parents paid for them to be there.
Lord, you
People-
know you're making me want-
I know what people who I would talk to philosophy. I was
can't.
philosophy pre-law, and I would come across a lot of people who use really big words. And let me tell you, they were very, very, very smart. And people, sometimes when they talk to you, even though I cannot use the same words that they could, sometimes they would try to demean me, I felt, and try to be like I wasn't as smart. And I was like, look, maybe I don't know how to use that word in a sentence, but I know exactly what you're saying, and I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
So essentially, I'm not a dumbass, because that's what you're trying to imply. And no, I'm here, and I'm in the same fucking class you are, and I'm going to graduate just the same way you are.
You want me to show you how I deal with that? Say a smart word to me. Say
Antediluvian.
Who?
Antediluvian.
And what, look, and what you gonna do? Huh? And what? You ain't gonna bust nothing. Then what? What they gonna say? Nothing now. Who the dumbass? Antediluvian that. A-N dolphin. Now, what? They ain't said nothing. You ain't said nothing since.
I agree, but I just...
What you dislike about college?
I said.
What I dislike about college, I hated the fact that all the shenanigans that went in with it. You got your parking passes.
Yes.
When you try to register for your classes, it was only certain teachers.
Yeah.
You couldn't. I feel like if I'm able to take some, I should just be able to register. You gotta wait. Your higher class, so you get to register at 2 o'clock. I can't register till 6. If the classes ain't done, if I want to graduate, I had to make sure all my classes, like all of that bullshit. And it's just like it has nothing to do with my intelligence or the shit I'm trying to do. That's y'all. Like, why can't, if I'm able to take the class, if I graduated, can't I just add it? But I can't because I gotta wait. And there is no opening.
So
there is no
your issue
teacher.
was with bureaucracy.
Yeah, whatever that is.
Yeah.
You just said a smart word. And, or nah. Exactly. Bureaucracy, whatever that means.
Yeah.
Don't do me on my own show. Like, no, I'll learn how to spell it tomorrow and I'll put it on Instagram so they can flex on them. I promise. So with the student loans, we got a little bit about that. Like, do you think people who really shouldn't have to pay back student loans, who parents aren't, do you think they should have to pay it back as far as student loans? Student loans. Again. Okay, student loans, you have people who parents can afford it who do pay it back, but for the people who are less fortunate, do you think they should have to pay back student loans?
Yes.
Yes.
They should?
Yes.
Yes. Part of human
Cut this damn show off.
responsibility is you pay back what you borrow.
Being
when you
part
take
of poor,
a loan,
I mean, as far as to get an education.
Yes.
The problem with student loans is the percentage they charge.
yeah.
What?
That's the problem.
Right. My
Right.
percentage.
You smart?
is-
If you can't afford it, you shouldn't get it.
Right.
Nothing is
Yes.
free. Not even
Or you
parking
can
is
get
fucking
whatever
free.
financial
Right.
aid
In America, this is what they teach us. That
Don't
shit's for
start.
free, and it's not for free. This is why we have so many people with hood rat mentalities that
Ooh.
think shit should be for free. And let me tell you, I'm from the
Entitlement.
hood, so I can say that word because I know what the
Right.
hell this shit is. I
Right.
grew up on government cheese.
Right.
I still remember. the
Hey, that
fucking
shit good though. That shit
saying.
good. That
I'm
shit
just
good.
saying.
That government cheese is good though.
I'm
And
just
you mix,
saying,
hey, Jacob,
nothing is
do you
free
mix
in
it with
America,
the roux?
and you
mix
want
the
to
government
pay
cheese
back.
with the roux?
Nothing is free, and yes, education should not be free.
Right.
Sorry, I'm poor, and I'm still poor to this day, but I still think I should pay back.
Well, your eyeliner is
Self-
sticky. That's MAC.
self-responsibility.
You're not poor.
Yes.
Your eyeliner is MAC. That ain't poor because you would have had some government cheese on your eyelashes.
Well, because I work really hard for what I have.
Yeah.
And I do
Nothing
too,
is
so I don't
free,
feel like
though.
I should have to pay that back.
You do.
Sorry, Carlese.
I know I do have to pay it
Tell
back.
me
but-
why you shouldn't have to, and I will tell you why you should.
Okay, this is why. I mean, I'm not saying I shouldn't, but this is why I think I shouldn't. The economy, they want us all to be college educated and do certain things.
But just because they want you to doesn't mean they're forcing you to, and it doesn't mean you
But
have
pretty
to.
much, because they're forcing.
No.
If they don't, you're not gonna
Nobody
be
made
shit.
you go to college.
No,
That was
nobody
your
was-
choice.
Yes, they
to
did.
go.
That wasn't my choice.
Yes,
was
it
your
was.
choice.
Okay, it was my choice.
Self-responsibility.
Just act like y'all just be on my side. Y'all
No,
like.
sorry, we're not gonna.
Okay, so this is what it is. I feel like I worked my ass off in college. I did a lot of community service. I
For
did a lot of
yourself.
things. No,
For
not
your
for community.
self-betterment.
I know I did a lot of community service that had nothing to do with classes or anything. I feel like I worked hard. I did a lot of stuff.
But
so
for the self-betterment of yourself.
Right.
yeah, for the betterment of myself. But it's like now that I went and I got my degree and I did everything to be a better person in this world.
Which is that's commandable.
So we
That's
don't want
something
better people in this
automatic.
world?
Yes, but that's something that you should be. That's something that's innate. That's something that you're born with. That's something that you should want to do no matter what.
But it's different when you get your education and you dealing
Why?
with it. It is because you're more well-rounded. You know exactly more.
But that's not
That
necessarily
has
true.
nothing
It
to do with paying back
Being
your
well
loan.
No, it doesn't,
doesn't
but-
have to do with college education.
Well, if I can finish, shit, how y'all gonna keep cutting me off? Can I say my piece?
Go say your piece.
So what I had said was, when I was saying like, and I just feel like, I mean, I know it's like, if I took, it really has to be really, like, watched over closely to make sure who don't take advantage. But I think people who really, really try hard and who really do shit, like, I think there should be some kind of reward besides your education and different things like that. But it's like, for some of us, if we get out of college and we can't afford to pay our stuff back, like, how do you, just for trying to better yourself, you stuck in a situation when you got to be poor for 3 years?
So maybe you can say that they should bring up a proposition in which it doesn't have to be paid back in terms of money, but essentially you have to pay back.
Yeah.
Because nothing is free.
Because everything, nothing. But it's just like, as soon as you pass that 6 months, it's like, okay, you owe this much. And it's like, damn, like,
Yeah.
And then
Like-
how much money you spend on alcohol that you could be paying on your student
There
loans?
you go.
Yeah.
You very
6 months.
smart
How much
ladies.
money you spend
There
on
you
your-
go.
on your
Very
dude?
smart
I don't
ladies.
owe student loans. My stuff
well, you
is
need
paid.
to. You need to. Can you block her ass out? Block her, please.
And your clothing.
I don't spend that much on my clothing.
Bet
This
you
is a
spend more than
sucker.
I do.
No. Yeah, I probably do because your
Yeah.
rhinestone's falling off. So I'm gonna need to spend a little bit more. You know what I mean? But I mean, probably. But I have no problem. I'm gonna pay my,
No,
right.
dues when it comes. But it's like sometimes it's like you work hard, and you know when it's just like the nice guys finish last, and it's
That's
just
not
like
true.
no, but it just seems like that. It's just kind of like
The
that-
nice guy finished last until the bad guy goes to jail.
But what if he
I'm
don't
just
go to
saying.
jail?
His ass will.
And y'all standing in line to get in the club, and he in front of you.
Nah, he'll go to jail.
No, because he been in
eventually.
front of me a few times, and I was mad as hell.
He will eventually.
Was I supposed to tell and get him sent to jail?
In this world, you get back what you give out.
Exactly.
I mean, it's bound to come back. One way
So
or
if I
another.
give out my $12,000, I need it back. That's all
the
I'm
government
saying.
gave you their $12,000.
That's
They
right.
want that
Yeah.
They
shit
want
back.
their money back.
They did, and I was studying hard as hell. And I gave all that comedy in class I gave. They should have paid me for making the teacher laugh.
No.
Why? You was laughing too, so don't. Anyways, y'all, we only got 20 seconds left. I want to say thank y'all to my co-hosts who helped out. I appreciate y'all for being here or whatever. We might have to continue this soon. When y'all gonna come on again?
Whenever you invite us.
Okay,
Whenever you hit me up saying, get down here.
Oh, exactly.
Attacking him.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Until next week, we'll see y'all later. Time to drink up a little bit more.
None unless
See
you
y'all
got
later.
buns, hun.